Sad, sad selfies. Sad, sad Mr. Howell. Who the fuck you calling Mister? I'm the Count. Looks like we are back. Can't handle the ruffle. Too many ruffles. One big car full of bad ruffles. Okay. The stream is reconnecting, and while it does that, we'll redo our introduction because our video just got crushed by the might of Streamlabs, I guess. Hello, I'm Count Howell, and tonight we're talking about subs, thinking about their DOMs, thinking about what their DOMs need. I thirst, I bleed. Yes, here's the thing, guys. The recording also got fucked. So we're back at the top. Hi. How you doing? So speedy review to the point where we have returned to DOMs have needs too. A lot of them are easily anticipated. Now, when I say needs, I mean a lot of different things. For example, what if I need a whip? What if I need a bullwhip? You could get it out of the box and put it somewhere for me to reach. I'm getting your cage ready, right? So there's things like that. There's the obvious. Then there's like the deep in there stuff, man. Everything is in a Bernstein dimension things, man. So we were blowing a buddy of mine's top off a second ago when he realized the concept that DOMs need aftercare. I don't think we actually ended up getting to do a full episode on aftercare. I thought that I did as I was writing little bits for this, but maybe I didn't. So maybe I need to go back. However, yeah, DOMs totally need aftercare. What is aftercare? We'll get to that. So those are some of the easy ways, top level, in which DOMs have needs. Let's explore them a little deeper, shall we? Number 1, logistics. What is logistics? Logistics is about having stuff and moving stuff and bringing stuff. That's logistics, right? So I already said one. If I need a bullwhip, my bullwhip is in the closet. Someone has to get that bullwhip out. And it is my birthday, so, maybe you could just kind of grab it and put it out on the bed for me. Or anything. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pause here for one moment. As I said before the recording was destroyed, I am not a man who talks in order. Okay? It's like a Quentin Tarantino conversation. So, I heard a fun take the other day, and it's been bouncing around in my head ever since. Are you ready to feel very upset about life and be like, I'm not like the other girls. I'm not like the other boys. I'm not like the other subs. Are you ready? 99% of the time that someone tells you that they're a sub, it just means they're lazy as fuck. They are lazy as all fuck, and they don't want to fucking do anything. They don't do anything during sex. They just fucking lay there. Maybe you can coerce them into doing something if you fucking full on, go mean mode on them. But you don't want to be one of those. You don't want to be one of those people. Okay? So that's why I'm like, if there's something in the closet that I need, maybe you could help out a little bit because we're participating in something together, right? Just because I'm the dom and you're the sub, in the fantasy, in the sexual dynamic, does not mean that you and I are not peers in life. And we should both kind of be expected to uphold the same amount of responsibility. If you're a sub because you just don't want responsibility, you're not going to do a lot to fulfill your dom's needs outside of perhaps being a sexual object, as you have handicapped yourself so. However, if you are willing to accept a little responsibility and join in as a two-player game, not just backseat, driving, then these are easy things, easy stuff. Okay, so we'll move down the list from here. Right? You can help arrange times and places. We got to have somewhere to, and you've got a job and I've got a job and I got to go on that meeting next weekend. That meeting in the out of town that I got to go to. If it's the dom's job entirely to control all things and have responsibility for all actions in the relationship, it should only be such if both partners agreed to that arrangement already. If you believe that that is the default position a dom should be in, your expectations are really kind of crappy. You are expecting someone to wipe your ass for you constantly. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. And we'll get to kind of taking care of yourself as part of this later. So another thing that you could do, help arrange the session. What do I mean by that? Like, come up with role play ideas. What if this time you're a cop and I'm a robber? What if I'm Elon Musk and you're a car floating through space, right? If I don't have to think of this, if I can just like go do my other stuff for the day and then you're like texting me hot roleplay ideas, awesome. Now I just have a list that I can just go off of stuff that's like gonna be great. Oh, just wait, Beard. Just wait. Because it gets even, this is just the, and I think you already know that this is just like the surface of the iceberg, right? So another way in which you can help arrange the session is for you to consider any limitations that you or your dom might have as far as disabilities, as far as financial restrictions, as far as restrictions on time, things like that. Figuring out the areas in which your dom is least able to act or has the biggest problems in their life and helping them in those places will give them the most free time and energy to spend on you. So, another one is to help with setup. And that was my example of just get the whip out of the closet and put it on the fucking bed. I am off detangling so many ropes. I'm supposed to do both. So setup is like get out toys and accessories. Or it could be like lube. You just get out the lube and set it next to the bed. Take it out of the drawer and put it on the nightstand. So that way I don't have to like fiddle around and try and fucking find the shit in the dark, right? Because I didn't think about it because I was untangling the rope. So that is one, right? The other side of that, of course, is breakdown. You can help put toys away. You can help clean messes. You can help clean toys. You can detangle the rope. the next section is care. Care is care is more to do with the physical thing that you're participating in. And even though there's a mental element to that, what I mean in this department is more to do with only those mental elements that pop up in the arrangement. You'll see. Okay. So as far as physical, you can go get a glass of water and put it next to bed. That is such a good thing to do. You can put two, put one on each nightstand. You and your dom are going to be so thrilled that that water is there, even if you thought you didn't need it. By the end of your session, you're going to be like, whoever put this water here is a genius. Wait, it was me. It'll be good. It'll be good. You'll enjoy it. The next one on my list is your dom's safety items. Now, this could be things like first aid boxes or devices, or this could be devices to cut rope or to clip a chain or to cut tape. Things that you will only need if things go wrong. It is very helpful if someone in the room is thinking about those items. The more turned on you both get, the less you're going to think about things like that. So doing it early is really good, right? And in that same vein, contraceptive. Is it your job to take the contraceptive? Then take the contraceptive. Is it your job to wear it? Then fucking wear it. I don't care which device you're using. One of you should, if you are not aiming for a baby, definitely be using contraceptive. Someone needs to think about that. And it is not easy to think of right in the moment. Often, statistics show that most DOMs are male. And since most relationships are hetero, that means that a lot of the time this will be women and birth control. Are you, taking a pill? Are you using the patch? Are you getting the IUD or the implant thing in the arm? You staying on top of that for not only reasons to do with contraceptive, but to do with things like regulating hormones and keeping a stable emotional state is definitely great. Then also on the other side for guys, condoms suck, but you know what sucks worse? All those things that popped into your imagination. All of them. All those weird bugs and things that you just thought of. Crickets. I want you to think about crickets. You don't want crickets down there. So, next we're going to go into care for your partner's mental state. Unwanted crickets. Unwanted babies, exactly. In there. In it. Inside it. You know those, how they got the big long antennae sticking out of the tip? If you don't wear a contraceptive, crickets are going to get in your pee-pee. Care for your partner's mental state. Explore your own boundaries so we don't have to. How about that? How about, what if you know what turns you on and you tell me before we do anything? That's pretty exciting. You can do that. And it's fun for you to do. You just go somewhere private and just start touching in places. Just start touching in places and doing stuff. And then be like, oh, didn't like that. Ooh, do like that. Okay. And then go to your partner and be like, hey, I was doing some touching. I was like, and I found out that I and my body and Jesus are not one. So, The next part of the mental care that you can give for your partner. Now, you might notice that some of these things, that there should be things in this list that aren't, because a lot of those are moved to aftercare. So we'll get there. So the next part, I would say, where you can mentally help your partner or your dom, but this would apply either way: enthusiasm and desire. Are you not enthusiastic or desiring of this scene? Then don't do it. Let your partner know, hey, I'm not really that into this. And also, know your body enough to know when you are into stuff, and you like can be like, oh shit, I want to get fucked. I want to do some fucking. I want to get going. Understanding your body and understanding your own, your desires, but more so, I mean, in a physical sense, the things that turn you on, the way to get your body going. And from that point, knowing, what your limits are as far as like, there's a lot of people who will, for example, their partner wants sex and they think, well, I don't really want sex, but once we start, then I will. That's for you to know about yourself, but you want to know if you're that type of person, right? So that kind of folds over into the enthusiasm and desire part, right? Like you want to know what you're enthusiastic about, and you want to know when your desires are going to be high or when they're going to be low, and planning for that, and letting your partner know, hey, my family's going to be staying in my town or in my house. I don't want a bone. Cool. I won't come over horny. I'll masturbate before I come over. You let me know that you are not desiring sex tonight, or that you are not enthusiastic about it. So now I can alter my mood accordingly. Yep. And this is what, I kind of had that bit of like, explore your own boundaries so that we don't have to, but like it so ties into this concept of like knowing what you want, what you can get enthusiastic about, knowing like, I had a girlfriend who, and maybe she 100% was just forcing it. I don't know. But from what I understood, according to her body, she just really couldn't get the initial excitement going unless she did it herself. So she'd go and masturbate for a little bit and then come in to the living room, horny as fuck, wanting to bone. Cool. You know how to do your thing. And then you understood your own enthusiasm, or how to build that enthusiasm, or that you didn't have it. And don't push yourself to do things that you aren't interested in too hard. I encourage experimentation and I encourage trying things out, but do it when you are in a good mood, when you don't feel forced, when you want to explore your boundaries. Don't let your partner, foist their desires onto you. And maybe that's something you have to do, is don't let your partner implant their desires into you in such a way that you forget kind of what it is that you want out of the relationship. And that can happen in reverse too, in the sense that I'll skip that. I'll see if that comes up later, because that'd be a whole other thing that I'd be getting into. So the next section is understanding. I know these are really silly. Am I a person deserving of effort after all? Dude, just wait. Just wait till the last section, man, has your name all over it. So understanding. The first part I have here says empathy. Watch your partner for signs that they are enjoying or not enjoying themselves. As a sub, you still have the ability to alter the scene. You have the ability to choose things. And something you can do if you're very aware of the situation, for example, is realize that your partner is pushing themselves out of their comfort zone for you. And then stop them. Because you don't really want them. You're like, this doesn't matter to me. But you can't see that in your partner, that they're doing it just to make you happy, so to speak, unless you have a lot of empathy, unless you have a lot of understanding. The next part I have here is flexibility, which is to be ready to change things if things aren't working. Now, of course, that's within, agreed parameters of your scene or your relationship. Don't go, rewriting the rules in the middle of a scene, but knowing that, you can lighten things up or make things heavier, or you can resist more, or you can give in more, or you can be more aggressive about, trying to get it in your mouth. Oh my God. Yep. Beard. Yeah. That was understanding that a sub is not just someone who doesn't do anything was a step for me to be like, I thought, okay, hold on. We'll finish this section here and then we're going to do the last one, but we're going to do a little interlude. Okay. Communication. Duh. Right. If something isn't working for you, fucking throw down the yellow flag. If something is working for you, give the thumbs up. Let us know, hey, that was good. Keep on doing that. I liked it, right? If you're doing really loud fake orgasm sounds the whole time, I don't know what you like. I have no idea what you like. Did you like everything? Did you like when I was like... Did you like when I was brushing my teeth before we started? Like, what do you like? I don't know. This is something that I've talked about in another kind of way called dynamic range, which is the difference between the lowest and the highest point in a thing, right? So giving no response, just being a dead fish, right, that just lays there and gets fucked is your 0 point. And then like full on fucking I'll have what she's having, orgasm is your top point. If you're up here the whole time, dynamic range makes me perceive that to be in the middle now. Now it's all just nothing. Having that range between, I don't like this to I do like this, and expressing it through bodily communication and verbal communication is a way in which you're giving feedback to your dom during the activity to, as with the last point, flexibly change things up in the middle of the game, because that's necessary sometimes. Sometimes you think you're going to want something and then you don't. And you need to have the ability to be like, pattern alpha delta 39, and then you just go into a different position and you're happy. So Beardo, right? Like the concept that like every 99% of subs are all just mannequins, are all just real dolls with not as nice of figures. Hey, it's because they're not real, okay? I'm not trying to push women into unrealistic expectations. They're just literally not real. You can't not be real, so sorry. So okay, here's the thing, Beard. There is something called Dom Drop. Dom Drop, okay. For Beard to understand Dom Drop completely, we're going to do a very quick, what is sub drop? What is that? Aftercare is the follow-up to the drops. Okay. And so if you are the sub, you're the bottom here, and I'm just whipping the shit out of you tonight. Okay. What happens inside your body? Adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin, what else? Cortisol, lots of different hormones pop out to help you deal with pain. So those hormones build up and build up and build up in your body. And then you finish your scene. And all of those hormones go out, like postpartum depression, right? It's just a complete thing that is outside of the control of you on a mental state. It is a biological thing that is going to happen. So from there, let's say, what is Dom drop? Dom drop is a lot more psychological than sub drop. Dom drop, usually from my reading, get ready, beard. Dom drop comes from the feelings of guilt and unworthiness we get from being the type of person in a scene that society tells us not to be. And the mixture of cathartic relief in the ability to do it, as well as the present guilt and uncomfortable feeling that you have after you've done it. After someone says, spit in my face and slap the shit out of me, and you do it, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, am I a bad guy? Your sub should come to you and hug you and say, you are not a bad person. Everything you did to me tonight, I wanted and I enjoyed. Thank you. So you shouldn't ever have to sit alone with those fucking feelings of, I ran the whole show. I did the whole show. I set up the whole show, right? I called the fucking catering party. I ordered the flowers. Everything. I ran the whole fucking show in the middle of it. I'm blowing my whistle. I'm tooting the horn. I'm fucking whipping the lion. Okay? And then afterward, I'm the one fucking doing the cleanup of the concession stands. And I have to feel like I just defrauded everyone. What a shit situation to be in. You are alone in that moment. Your sub is entirely self-centered to leave you in that state. Just like it would be wrong to slap the shit out of someone and spit on them and then come on them and walk away and just be like, all right, I'm leaving now, bye. That's going to make them feel really used. That's going to make them feel really low and dirty and stupid. Just like you shouldn't leave someone in there with the same amount of fervor that you right now are going, I would never, ever, ever let someone feel that way. Especially if they asked me to spit on them and shit. Like, I would never let them feel like they were just a piece of trash to be discarded afterward. The amount of emotion you feel about that should be reflected to you as well. And in that, I mean, hey, if this is a one-time thing and you both know that and aren't reflecting any toward one another, that's fine. If you don't give a shit about her, she doesn't have to give a shit about you. Or he and he, or she and she. I keep saying cisgendered terms on accident and habit. So with that same amount of energy, you need to find someone who comes at you with that as well. Who is as willing to set things up beforehand as you are. Who is watching your body and your breathing and your moans as much as you're watching theirs. And who is as willing to afterward come to you and give you aftercare and let you know that you are not a bad person, that everything you did was consensual, that that, you know, this is good. Everything here was good and okay. Yeah, you like you can't go that alone. That's unfair. And trust me, I've been with a lot of people who are basically that as well. It's the reason I'm single. If I had been with someone who never did any of that, I'd be like, well, I will take my meds, Alexa. Alexa, stop doing it. Okay. So, let's cruise through the last of the list. Aftercare. Ready? Things the sub could do. I'm not saying that a sub should do every single thing that I mentioned on this list. There are more things that you could do that aren't on the list, and if you did 10% of this list during a session, your Dom is going to be fucking thrilled. They'd be like, oh my god, how great. She got out all my tools. She, like, watched me during play and shifted around so that I would enjoy it more. And then afterwards, she hugged me and told me that I'm a good boy. So, that is the basics. So, step one. Step one. Check for damage. On both parties, a sub can check themselves for physical damage, as well as check their Dom for physical damage. The Dom actually accidentally hit himself in the head or whip herself on the butt when she fucking brought the thing back. Did a toe get stubbed? Is anybody bleeding? Okay. Step two. Self-care. You know how when you're on an airplane, they go, first, put the oxygen mask on yourself. Then put it on the person next to you, right? Check yourself for damage. Say, what can I reasonably do as far as aftercare for me, for myself, that I can do? Generally, a Dom is like, the Dom's hands hurt. Hell yeah, that is definitely one. I have gotten some real damage to my hands because I have hypermobility. So it, like, my joints come apart real easy and stuff like that. So doing self-care as a sub takes a lot of work off your Dom's hands. Definitely. Next, I have ask. Once you have checked yourself for damage, done as much self-care as you're able to do, look at your partner and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Is there anything I can do for you? Ask. Do they need anything? Just ask them. Just say, hey, are you okay? When they go, yeah, I'm fine. Go, are you sure? Follow it up with that. Follow it up the one time. Are you sure? Well, you know, my hand kind of hurts. Let me go get you some ice. Good, sub. Good. You're the top. You're fine. Quit complaining. Yeah. Yeah. This is what it looks like when you actually break it down into an equal partnership relationship where, first of all, you're dealing with... I'll get there. So, reminders. These are reminders to your partner that things are okay. This is what I was saying about, like, I consented to this. I asked for this. I want to remind you that you are a good person. I want to remind you that the person I cared about before we entered this room is still here with me. I want to remind you that I know who you are. Reminders. Next, space. Do you need space? Do you need any space? Do you need alone time? Do you need to take a nap? If I need space and you are on me like a koala, I start to have a panic attack. So, after space would be, Physical comfort, the opposite. No, I'm fine. Do you want a hug? Do you want to cuddle? Yes. Oh, bring it on in, right? Next is reassure your top that they're a good person and that this is okay. Now, this also means, okay, I totally wouldn't have thought of this if Beard wasn't having this fucking self-realization in chat. All right. So, not only as a sub, letting them know they did good. Yes, that's next. That's the next step. So yes, Beard does need hugs. So, okay. It's one thing for me to say, I'm your sub, right? And I go, hey, I asked for everything you gave me and more. I loved it. I had a blast. You're still a good person. I care about you. I love you. We're good. We're still going to dinner tomorrow night. Everything's on. It's better than it was before, right? All that. Cool. However, at the same time and as a result of that process, your dom might question their masculinity. If you start so much internalized toxic masculinity says to not give a fuck about your partner. And if you start to, and your partner reacts and reflects to that, then the man might start to get scared as they see the results of giving a fuck. They will become more and more afraid that their manhood is compromised. Assuring them that they are not only did they do things that you asked them to and it was all consensual, but that their masculinity, femininity, manhood, womanhood, transness, their sexuality, their whatever is good. It is not impacted by this. And I even mean that to like weird things. Like, for example, there are guys who will freak out the first time their partner puts a finger in their butt, being like, am I gay now? Hey, your straightness, your gayness, your manliness, your womanliness doesn't get changed by what just happened. In either direction, you are not more of a man for being a dom. You are not less of a man if you kiss your sub on the head afterward and bring them little tissues to wipe up their makeup, and you bring them lemonade. You're not less of a man if you do that. And so to be able to have your partner reassure you of your status in how you can see yourself, how they see you, and how society will see you. Like, look, nothing changes. Yeah, I put my whole hand in your butt, but no one has to know, so no one's gonna think of you weird. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Everything's fine. That's really important to people sometimes, to know that things can be about being a service dom. Yeah. Right? By like the other side of it is almost like you babied them too much, that you somehow like slipped underneath them. Right? Like you started out as the dom, but now you're just like making their food and doing their laundry. And you're like, wait a minute. Is this dom shit or sub shit? What am I doing? Doesn't matter. whatever you establish. Whatever you and your sub or you and your dom agree is your role or their role. It could be as inconsequential as who's going to wear the red hat and who's going to wear the blue hat. Whichever one makes you happy, wear that one. You know, so long as you can still be with your partner, then cool. Michi, I hear you. So does the rest of the world. So, the last two are checking in, which is what Barry said, letting them know they did good. Checking in, I mean, outside of the mental statuses that we were talking about before. I mean it in more of a technical sense. So that might even be like, hey, I love that thing you did with your tongue. Hey, I didn't like what you did to my nipple. That's checking in. Hey, we just did a thing. Here's what I liked and didn't like about it. What did you like and didn't like? I'm glad we checked in on each other in order to know those things. Perfect. By the way, you're really good at this thing. Last, but definitely not least, bathing in beauty. Make sure your ass don't stink. The end. No, really. Bathing in beauty is a really cool thing to participate in as aftercare, especially because you guys both just got sweaty and dirty with God knows what. So jumping in the shower together or helping each other clean is great, you know, and you can, in those times, there was a lot of things in my reading, for example, that said, if you don't have sex as part of the session, you might want to have sex, or you might give your partner oral sex afterward. And I think all of those were pointing toward the same concept of outside of session affection, especially in a sexual way, to reaffirm that togetherness. And I think that, you know, bathing in beauty is something that animals do together because it builds bonds. Like, this shit goes really deep. So if you can participate in some beautification rituals or bathing rituals after a session and you're not in character anymore and you're just two human beings washing away all the filth of what you just did, then that's fucking awesome. So that's my list. That is ways in which subs can anticipate their dom's needs and help them out. That's a bunch of your dom's needs right there. I mean, the needs are always going to be different, you know, so that's why I kind of stress some of these other qualities. Kitty, what? What? Where'd you even go? These animals. I'm really happy that my friend here, Beard, got such value out of this to realize that there was another end of things. I'm sure it's a big one. And to take that information and then change your habits from here out and say, I'm not going to accept someone who is unwilling or unable to return to me the affection that I want to give them, I am able to give them. It's like you can't even do that if you don't realize that the other party is capable of giving you attention and affection. And especially someone who's been in dom-sub relationships most of their life, a lot of those subs are going to have been nothings, just real dolls with less curves. And yeah, it's going to suck, and you're not even going to realize that there's another, that there's, you know, the grass is greener on the other side. You didn't even see the other side. You didn't even know there was another side to get to, you know. So taking account of these things on a dom's side allows you to analyze your relationship with subs and say, are they putting in the effort I'm putting in? You know, it gives you a language and a lens through which that you can look at that relationship and say that. and then make an assessment. I want more, or I'm willing to go with this, or I'm totally happy. And, then you can start trying to find the minute signs, that you're dealing with this kind of person. There are things that you can tell on a first date about a sub and how willing they are to participate. If a sub is like, hell yeah, I'll pay for half my dinner. Oh, yes. We're going to have a rumble tonight, girl. Right? Because now I know that they're fully capable of being a human. They're putting themselves in that scenario in a fantasy. They are not that mental level and just using BDSM as a mask to not self-improve in any way, which is something we talk about a lot with DOMs, but we don't talk about it as much with subs. It's looked upon poorly to talk bad about subs, but there's lots of bad subs. So noticing what makes a good sub might be more important to say, well, these are the qualities I'm looking for, rather than these are the qualities I think are a bad sign, like Topamax. And what was this, Sarah Quill? What was the other one? Fuck. Damn it. I don't even remember now. Risperdal. If you're on Risperdal or Topamax, these were jokes. I'm kidding. I love you. You're probably my ex-girlfriend. I don't love you anymore. Unless you're a guy, then I do love you, because we bros. Before hoes. I'm kidding. I don't know how to end videos. I just kind of keep rambling until I'm like, hey, live.howls.cc, shop.howls.cc, youtube.howls.cc, twitch.howls.cc, and howls.cc. Go there. Actually, if you just go to howls.cc, the only thing you get is a Discord link. But join our Discord. It's a lot of fun. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. I'll be here. Thank you for watching this video. We did it, guys. We did it. What? You're leaving? We're not ending the stream. Remember? People think that when I'm just ending videos. I just end the YouTube recording. I'm still here. Hey, Callie. You hiding in the bleachers? Beard, I'm really happy that we could talk about something that could at all help you have a realization in this way. I know that you've had some pretty shitty relationships, and I'm sure that you're kind of looking back on it now with this, with these colored glasses on, and being like, oh, motherfucker. I have only been with women who just wanted me to do things to them. Period. End paragraph. The end. 1-page graphic novel. And then I did things to them. The end. This is why I've kind of meandered around the concept of that the type of servitude or subs that I like or want are very, very active ones. And that's why I akin it to either being a secretary or being oh my god, my brain just shit. Let's pretend I'm a king or a religious leader. Yeah. I'm in control. but you literally do everything to service me, rather than I'm busting my ass to service her. And that probably has a lot to do with the fact that I was raised by women who were manipulating men. So I want to make sure that they're busting their ass to be around me. That's how you know they're not using